Live from Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, Sensei. Welcome to the Haikyuu Podcast with the Triple T's. So Season 1, Episode 1, the end and the beginning. What did you like about that first episode? What caught your eye first?
Here's what caught my eye, or here was my hook. I just absolutely loved the enthusiasm. Hinata, who's the main character, the Chisana Kyojin, the little giant. I just loved his enthusiasm for volleyball. And as soon as I saw that, that was my hook. There was several moments, and I'm sure we'll talk about those later, but that was my hook, and I that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Honestly, it started off really good because he pulls up to this store and he sees the high school game going on, and so he gets so drawn into whatever's going on TV and the fact that he's watching the game, and he really is drawn into it. So the way that I connected with that was with how volleyball is like an art, right? If it's played correctly, is really beautiful. Because everyone's supposed to have their own job. So if everyone does their own job, the game is beautifully played. So that's what caught my attention to how he felt as well, because he thought it was so beautiful how the player who went up to hit the ball, everything was so beautifully done. The feather, they added the feathers effect in there and whatnot. So that caught my attention off the bat. For me, the reason why I really got drawn into the show was surprisingly, it wasn't really about volleyball, even though I'm passionate about volleyball. I love to play and everything, but it was more of, and I feel like this can relate to a lot of other Haikyuu fans that don't play volleyball, that has drawn them into volleyball. It's just Hinata's mentality of never giving up. And that was what really drawn me into it. And like Kageyama said at the very beginning of the show, is giving up isn't as easy as it sounds. Anyone can say, hey, just don't give up. But for anyone that's gone through hard trials through their life and obstacles, it's kind of hard to not give up sometimes. It just hit me hard on his mentality when nothing's really going right, but he still had that genuine belief that he can come back. And that mentality was what drew me, and his character. And it wasn't really volleyball, even though that was part of it, but it was the character that he had. That was what drew me in. So let's talk about.
Can I add to that?
Yes, go ahead.
I think one of the things that I'm always reminded of in any of the episodes in the series is there's a Japanese concept called kaizen, which is basically kind of this idea of constantly improving, improving oneself, improving your team or whatever. But I love that theme. From a playing perspective, from a coach's perspective, that's obviously what it should be about. That's what was cool. So when Coach T says that, that's kind of how I felt as well. I think that when Hinata said at the very end, something to the extent of, mada makete nai yo. Mada boru wa koto ni ochite masen, ochite nai. In other words, that, I haven't lost yet. The ball hasn't hit the ground yet, hit the court yet. That's one of those that I wish all of my players, all of my teammates had that mentality. And it was cool to see both Hinata and Kageyama have that mentality. Obviously, Kageyama in a different way and a different, way of presenting it, but that was pretty cool. What other moments did you guys find that were pretty interesting or pretty, pivotal as far as
One for me is because I've watched this 3 times. So like the first time, the moments were different. Like the first time, some things stood out. Where the second time, when you rewatch it, like other subtle things stands out. And this is my third time. So what really caught my attention this time was Hinata's basically when he was playing, there was no sense of blame when it came to his teammates messing up.
Right.
And that's something that me as a coach, I value a lot. This is something that me and these two coaches right here, we really emphasize during our season, which is, hey, take accountability. Don't blame others, even though like it's not completely your fault, but
Right.
be the one to stand up, take accountability, and lead your team. Because if you notice, when you're watching that first episode, the point, it started off like 7-0, and like every time his teammates messed up, he'd be like,
He didn't blame anybody.
he didn't blame anyone, and he would encourage them, be like, we got the next one.
Yeah.
We got the next one. And I feel like it was so contagious that when it was his time to hit and he got blocked, his teammates all stood up and encouraged him. And I felt like that was really contagious. And that's a quality that I really value as a coach and as a player.
Yeah, mainly as a player because we played together before,
Yes.
and every time we get on the court, or every time we team up, even when we play tournaments together, like over the summer, you know, Coach Thong and I, we always like, okay, the first thing we're gonna do is gonna get upset at one another when we play. It's always about encouragement and never like bringing anybody down, because who wants to play with someone who is gonna bring you down? So that's one of the biggest things that caught my attention as well. That he was just really excited about getting on the court and finally being able to play. So the fact that they were messing up, he didn't really care. You know, he wanted to be that person who could bring his team up, and that's a lot. That's a lot. It makes a lot.
I've got a question, and this is, would he care more if they were better?
I think so. Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, because it's easy when you're that bad.
Yeah.
Because
That makes sense.
we've all been on those teams where
Yeah.
it's bad.
Yeah. But these guys, he knows that they've never played before, and he asks them to play.
So my question is, does Hinata have that same sense if they were more competitive? Would he still have that?
Well, knowing,
I mean, I got my feeling, but what do you guys?
I think
he
so.
would.
I think he would, because because we already seen future episodes.
Whoa! We've seen future episodes.
I mean,
Spoiler alert.
it's just I think so, because he's humbled at the beginning, off the bat. He's humbled by playing with a team like Kageyama's team.
I think the thing, and the reason I asked is, I think he's just happy to be there.
Yeah, super excited.
So one of the things that really excited me when I watched the first episode was it reminded me of when I first started volleyball. And I'm older than these guys.
You are.
I'm not boomer old, but I'm certainly up there in age. And when I was young, the opportunities to play, I felt like Hinata, because he's playing on the girls team. He's looking for different opportunities to play that just don't exist.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to play. He just wanted to be on the court. He just wanted that chance, that opportunity. And when I saw that, it kind of reminded me not only of playing, but just watching. I mean, you guys have it made right now. It's like you have so much, all of us have it made where there's so much content now. You look at YouTube, you look at anything, you can watch a match, and it's there. I literally had to beg my aunt to send videos from Japan of matches, like World Cup or something like that, World League, because the U.S. didn't show it. I think we showed AVP, but as far as 6-on-6 indoor, boy, there really wasn't that much opportunity to do that. And and I totally related to that sense of, wow, I just want to be on the court. I just want to. What do you guys think about because this is another cool part about it. And I don't think we do this enough. Whether it's our kids playing, whether us playing, maybe in pickup ball, I think we do. But this idea of, only the winner gets to be on the court. That was huge to me because that's what I grew up playing. It's like if you lose, we don't do punishments.
Yeah.
You're off the court. You don't get to play anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best thing in the world to me is as a coach.
Yeah.
It's the worst form of punishment that you can have. I don't know if, us players in this generation necessarily have that sense, but what do you guys think about that?
I think definitely from your perspective, like that's something I value a lot, having like these guys on, is that different perspective. Because honestly, when I play pickup or whatever, and I lose, there's not that much of a sense of, like I don't get to be on the court because like I've grown up with so much opportunity to play.
Yeah.
So I don't kind of have the same perspective as him, but I totally understand that point of view, which what makes me more grateful for all those opportunities that I did have. So to me, like I don't feel the same pain, but I can empathize with it.
Well, for me, like if I lose and pick up, it doesn't bother me as much as if I was playing a tournament. But yeah, but because it's just some of the people that you play pickup with, you don't really know who they are, and you don't really have that same chemistry. Versus, because like sometimes, like if I play with Coach T over here, I'm just like I want to try harder and I want to be able to match what we usually play. But if I play with some random person, then I'm gonna still play the best I can. But then I don't know what they're capable of, so I'm just gonna be a helping hand. Like if they're not that great, then I'm just gonna be there and make sure that I'm supporting them verbally. Just like you get the next one, don't worry about it, this and that. But no, I don't feel as much like pressure playing pickup, just because we're there just to have fun and stuff, not really to compete too much. I mean, you're always competing, but I just don't think it's that much pressure on me.
I feel like my perspective could change if I was to compete for real. Yeah. Because I even though like I've been coaching for a long time, I've never competed. Like I've never really had the chance to compete for real. Like for real.
I mean, that's every day. I don't know what you're talking about, but
you're right.
But when I step on the court, I compete for real every single time. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, compete for real?
I come to win, but I'm saying, but when we lose, I don't take it as hard.
Okay. Compete is one level. I mean, there's no degree.
I mean, he has a good point.
He does,
but no excuses. He has a good point.
I mean, that's true, because when we coach our girls and we get on a play, I usually give them my all. I don't play down on them at all.
I think and this is perfect, because I think one of the things that the episode talks about is, and this is why I'm getting on to him, is that I'm sorry, but and I'm in the Kageyama standpoint. I love Kageyama. He's the setter of the other team. He's the crazy dude. Okay. It's probably not my most, it's not the personality that I probably would, link myself to, but when he went ballistic because his teammate didn't go after the ball, when they overlooked the opponent, I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about, is that, the competitive level always stays up here. It never drops because of another level, or another team. You're doing a disservice to the other team when you drop the level, and that's why, jokingly, of course, I'm getting onto these guys, but I think
that is something I learned from you this year too, though.
Oh
no, seriously, because at first, sometimes before you're playing against a team who's a little bit weaker, so you play down a little bit. But after being like this season with Tsunami and coaching with Coach T and Coach Tad, I've learned I shouldn't play down just because pretty disrespectful to play down against a team who isn't that good. So I always bring my A game even if I know I'm playing a team that's not as competitive.
Yeah, the beautiful moment I thought was when Hinata, when they went for the ball, and they, and the guy's going, why is he going after the ball? The game's over. It's like,
yeah.
But the other beautiful moment was when Kageyama was like, yeah, you go after the ball, to his teammates. So I mean, that was great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I mean, he has good values too. Though he might sound crazy to his teammates, but he has the right mindset to be the very best.
Yeah, it's just his delivery.
Yeah.
And that's I think as coaches we always talk about. Hey, you have the idea of it. You're a competitive player, but it's the delivery. If you can work on the delivery, then I think it would be so much better. But yeah, that competitive side, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and I think it's not just a disservice to the other team; it's a disservice to yourself because there's always a way to improve. There's always even if you play against the worst team, there's always something that you can improve in the game.
That's right.
So
every rep counts.
Yeah, and I'm guilty. I am definitely guilty of playing down at some point. But I try to keep in mind, hey, this things to get better, and I gotta step it up. So that's a very valuable lesson, I think.
I think one of the other things that and again, this probably links itself to the next couple episodes and throughout, I think, is when Kageyama said something to the extent of "motto tsuku nare," or become stronger. And you immediately see Hinata go into the gym or to the workouts and things like that.
He starts training.
Such a cool, if you're at that level, what do? You get up and you get better. I think we all have an opportunity to get better. And it's a beautiful part of it, and that's obviously the theme of the anime. But yeah, what a great way to kind of end the first episode.
Yep. Yeah, I loved it.
I did too.
Yeah, and let's talk about something that we've been talking about all the time about mentioning is this.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah. Who can relate? Let us know who can relate.
That's a good one. Yeah.
To that feeling of making a good contact with the ball right in the palm of your hand. Boom. You know that feeling.
Yeah.
It feels really good, and I feel like every volleyball player can relate to this.
Yeah.
Where you hit the ball and you hit at the core of the ball in the palm of your hand,
and it makes that noise, that sound.
That sound.
I like it.
I don't know. I think I feel the feeling before the sound.
I mean, both of them.
You
get that feeling, and then
it's
that
like,
sound.
ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even a little guy like me, it's like that's the best thing in the world. I agree.
Yeah.
I know you're little. I know we joke. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm Chisana Kyoji, little giant.
Ooh.
But I know we joke a lot, but I think if you ever see us on the sidelines, I might be going because I can feel it when our players, have that contact, and it's so good, and when they feel it, it's like, yep, there it is. Do that again. That was good,
But we want them to learn how to get more excited for themselves too, because sometimes they don't. They're like, okay, I did pretty good, and we're on the side like, that was a great hit.
One play I want to mention on. The last play of the game where Hinata hits it out, where where the setter basically, I think they say in Japanese, mistosu, misset, and the Kageyama looks at the ref and is like, hey, why didn't he call double on that? We've had a couple times this year where we're going, oh, that's it, that's that moment right there. It's like, mistosu, and I get excited because I'm a dork, when it comes to the Haikyuu, and I love it to death, but it's like we get excited about it. It's like, Isos,
Where's Hinata?
Why didn't she run the slide? Oh my gosh, she had an opportunity. But yeah, we joke about it. So I think the best way to make use of the podcast is to watch an episode and then just and then listen to us or share with us.
The reason why we're doing this is because we love the show and we love volleyball. We love to teach people about the volleyball and how it pertains to life, but Haikyuu connects a lot of that. Haikyuu connects a lot of that together, and that's why we enjoy it so much.
And I think it's a lot of things that people watch on Haikyuu and like look over, because sometimes I personally think that you have to be on a volleyball team to kind of catch some of the things that they show. So we're going to try to explain some of that to you guys and show you so that you can have a better visual and understanding of some of the stuff that you probably looked over.
So the plan is to do a podcast for all the episodes that are coming out right now and just keep up with them. But at the same time, we're also going to be going back from the beginning and doing all the episodes from season 1 all the way up. So we're doing kind of like a two-pronged approach.
And we are working on the graphics and all that kind of stuff, so we apologize for that. But to further add to that, I think one of the things that we thought of when this idea came up is that we tend to naturally talk about each episode, especially with the new season coming out, and it was something that we enjoy doing, and so we figured, well, how great would it be to do something in this format, and not only bring our own ideas out, but also get feedback from the community, and hear from you all to see what you think about some of the things that we think. I think there's value in doing that. So
that was good.
That was fun.
I really enjoyed that.
Triple T.
Oh.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you make it to the next episode.
Yeah, for sure. And remember to just share with us some moments that you enjoyed and like what you've learned, because that's something that we really enjoy talking about.
Yeah,
because that's what it's all about. Like what do you learn from this episode, this anime? Because we think that it brings so much in terms of just outside of volleyball. If you play or you don't play, in all aspects of life, I think is very valuable.
So subscribe, like, comment, and share if you care.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye bye.